Today's story: the fragility of life. The sun was setting over the small town of Millfield, casting a warm orange glow over the streets. Sarah walked down the sidewalk, her heart heavy with grief. She had just attended her father's funeral, and the weight of his absence was almost too much to bear. As she walked, she noticed a small bakery on the corner. The smell of freshly baked bread and pastries wafted out onto the street, and Sarah's stomach rumbled. She decided to go in and buy a treat to cheer herself up. Inside the bakery, Sarah was greeted by the friendly face of the owner, Mrs. Johnson. She ordered a chocolate croissant and a cup of coffee, and Mrs. Johnson handed her a small paper bag with a smile. As Sarah walked out of the bakery, she noticed a man sitting on the sidewalk with a sign that read, "Homeless and hungry." She felt a pang of guilt as she realized how lucky she was to have a warm home and a loving family, even in the midst of her grief. Without a second thought, Sarah walked over to the man and handed him the paper bag. He looked up at her with tears in his eyes and thanked her, and Sarah felt a small glimmer of hope in her heart. But as she turned to walk away, she heard a loud screech of tires and a sickening thud. She turned back to see the man lying motionless on the ground, a car speeding away from the scene. Sarah rushed over to the man, but it was too late. He was gone. Tears streamed down Sarah's face as she realized that life was fragile and fleeting. She thought of her father and how he had always told her to cherish every moment and every person in her life. As she walked away from the scene, Sarah knew that she would never forget the man on the sidewalk or the lesson he had taught her. She would carry his memory with her always and strive to make the most of every day. If you have not subscribed to the channel yet, please subscribe. It is your work that carries your value, so keep up the good work. Until then, see you next time. Stay with Narizo.